Bill O'Reilly here, Friday, April 30th, 2021. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening this week in America. First to Washington, D.C., President Biden addressing a joint session of Congress Wednesday night, calling for another $6 trillion in spending over the next 10 years. $6 trillion. So we already owe $28 trillion. If you do the math, that brings us up to $34 trillion, and the government doesn't have the money. So we, the people, are going to have to pick up the tab, and all of us will. Mr. Biden's American Families Plan will provide free childcare, free health care, free community college, and expanded entitlements like free food and unemployment insurance, and on and on and on and on. If you add it up, the Green New Deal, COVID relief bill, infrastructure bill, American Families Plan, Biden's proposed spending now tops $8 trillion since Inauguration Day. Next up, some better news, the fight against COVID. Local governments now vaccinating 3 million people every day. Infection rates dropping in most places as more than a third of American adults are fully inoculated. Worst spots for COVID right now, Oregon and Michigan. Portland seeing a 20% spike in cases over the last 7 days. The Centers for Disease Control also revising COVID rules. Vaxxed people like me can now venture out without a mask. Outdoor dining, concerts, sporting events also get the green light in most places. Now, if you are looking to travel over the summer, Europe says you can come if you're vaxxed. American tourists will be able to visit the EU this summer. Officials in Brussels and Washington agreeing to new travel rules and flight schedules. The Vax card issued after you get injected will be suitable proof of immunity. However, not a lot is open in Europe, so think about that. Finally, anti-police protests continue across the USA. Violent demonstrations erupted in Chicago, North Carolina, Louisville, and the West Coast after some police-involved shootings. Portland, Oregon, now extending its state of emergency. The crazy left governor there, Ted Wheeler, is even asking the public for help to identify looters, but it really doesn't matter because after causing more than $50 million in damages, not one person, as far as we can ascertain, has gone to prison in Oregon. Coming up, my message of the day, listeners, sound off. Right back with it. Are you looking for your next investment? Bill O'Reilly here. There are 7 reasons to look at the Nria Real Estate Development Fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized. Bonuses to 21% targeted. They strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people want to move to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk. Their short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns right now. Nria is an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. So, if you've been sitting on the sidelines or want to diversify, start your due diligence at nria.net. Or you can call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Listeners, sound off. We do this each Friday. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. We would like to hear from you. James in Centerville, Ohio, says, last year I wondered what the Black Lives Matter Global Foundation would do with the millions of donations from the woke corporations. Bill, you mentioned the California education system, income redistribution, and other items. With money from BLM and George Soros, it appears they will continue to find new and creative ways to influence Americans. Well, you can count on that, James. Black Lives Matter is now the spear point of the new socialist revolution in this country, and the education system, which is forcing some kids to listen to critical race theory, and that is all white people are bad. So Black Lives Matter has attained a lot of power in a short period of time. Susan in Hartford, Wisconsin. O'Reilly, how do you recommend responding to people who say the Constitution is outdated and needs to be recreated for modern times? Well, that's the Black Lives Matter philosophy. They want Marxism. So if somebody said that to me, and I doubt they would ever do that because they know me and I'm 6'4", 215 pounds, I don't think they'd say it. But if they did, I would say, okay, give me one good example of how the U.S. Constitution, probably the most astute document in the history of mankind, give me one example on how that's outdated. So I would be willing to engage in that conversation, Susan. But to me, the Constitution, if you really step back and look at the protections it gives individuals, that's what it's all about. The Constitution protects you and me and every other American. It gives us protection against terrible government, against other people who would hurt us. I would like to hear how it's outdated, but I don't believe it is. Rory, Oakdale, New York. If Caitlyn Jenner runs for governor of California, wouldn't this be a great strategy for Republicans? Because she is transgendered, you can't criticize her. Oh, Rory, don't underestimate the far left in California. They'll go after Ms. Jenner. I don't think they're going to talk about her personal life and her biological situation, but they're not going to let her dominate the recall out in California. Now, she's got a chance. Caitlyn Jenner has a chance. Big name. As you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger was elected off a recall. So that's going to be interesting to see how it goes down. Terry in Phoenix, Arizona asks, what happened to the Durham report? Big scandal, Terry. Big scandal. But part of this is President Trump's fault, because he never really clarified where that investigation was before he left office. And I don't know why. All he had to do was give the American people an update. So the Durham report, of course, is investigating allegations that the government misbehaved in trying to get President Trump, which it did, and it should have been done a long time ago, and I have no idea where it is. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by putting it together. Please visit BillO'Reilly.com. In a moment, something you might not know. Hey, good movie alert. It's called Roe V Wade. Not a documentary. It's a real Hollywood movie with great actors like Jon Voight, Stacey Dash, John Snyder, Steve Guttenberg, and even LA Law's Corbin Burnson. Not some boring film about a court case. You will be blown away to learn about how Planned Parenthood manipulated the courts and lied to the media back in the 1970s, all for power, and how the conspiracy even involved some Supreme Court justices. Literally the most famous court case in American history that everyone has heard of, but no one knows very much about. Finally, the truth comes out. Hollywood and the media have tried to stop the film from coming out. It could get canceled or banned, so see it immediately before they remove it from iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. You can download it from your major cable or satellite carrier. It is on demand. Check out Roe v. Wade, the movie, today. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. Joe Biden has been president for 100 days, but those days have not been kind to the TV news industry. The facts. CNN's coverage of President Trump, 2 impeachments, the Capitol Hill riot, and the 2020 election chaos inflated CNN's viewership by 150%. But once Donald Trump left the stage, look out below. Primetime ratings for CNN and the other 2 cable news networks have plunged. CNN dropped a staggering 42% in April from the year before. Fox News, 45%. MSNBC, 25%, but that network has historically lower ratings. Recent analysis from the Conservative Media Research Center studied 20 hours of news coverage on CNN. They found a whopping 33% of all reporting was still focused on Donald Trump. News viewership continued to drop all across the board in April. ABC, NBC, CBS seeing significant declines. Late night TV also hurting in the Biden era. Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, all struggling now to reach 1.5 million viewers. That's down double digits from the same time last year. Colbert on CBS has dropped the most. Even professional sports took a hit in April. Hockey, baseball, and NASCAR all down. Biggest winner this month? The Masters Golf Tournament. Ratings were up 69% compared to last year. And here's something else you might not know. The biggest loser in the TV industry is the Academy Awards program. Less than 10 million people tuned in to see it this year. That's down from 60 million 20 years ago. A petition appeared online hours after the Oscar broadcast, begging producers to bring back comedian Billy Crystal to host the Oscars for the 10th time. No word yet from Mr. Crystal, who might not look marvelous if he takes that gig. Back after this. This year marks 20 years since America's darkest day, September 11, 2001, and the Untitled Chapter Foundation has been supporting America's frontline heroes ever since. When a first responder or military service member doesn't come home and young children are left behind, Tunnel to Towers pays off the mortgage to lift the financial burden for the family and bring their family some stability. For catastrophically injured vets and first responders, Tunnel to Towers builds mortgage-free smart homes, enabling our most severely injured heroes to live more independent lives. Our nation's heroes, people who are willing to die for us, need your help. So please don't wait. Join Tunnel to Towers on their mission to do good and help those heroes. Please donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.